Hello everyone, I am Shinjini and welcome to the Tech Talk series by Quadrant Knowledge Solutions where we discuss latest technology trends with industry leaders and experts in the ICT domain. So today we have with us Kavitha Srinivasulu, who is the Global Head Cybersecurity and Data Privacy Data Consultancy Services. So apart from a 9 to 5 job, Kavitha is a speaker, avid reader and mentor, directing people towards the correct use of cybersecurity. Along with her, we have our own in-house expert, Divya Baranawal, who is the Research Director, Quadrant Knowledge Solutions. Hi Divya. Hi Kavitha.
Hi, Shinjini.
Starting the interview and the conversation, over the years there has been a continuous development in the cybersecurity domain, right? As the digital footprints of organizations are expanding rapidly, hybrid work and digital business processes in the clouds have introduced new risks. Hackers are becoming more advanced, and organizations are facing ever changing cybersecurity threats in various forms. So, more than reactive, proactive approach is what is needed by these organizations, right? They have to be in the constant lookout for the latest developments in this area, track and predict what kind of threats that are knocking on their door, and devise a plan for best practices to address these types of issues, right? So the session today aims at analyzing the cybersecurity trends and best practices and various developments and technicalities in this area. So starting the conversation, Kavita, I would like to ask you, can you shed some light on the major trends and emerging risks in the cybersecurity data privacy space in the industry right now?
Sure. Thanks, Shinjin. Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be part of this Tech Talk show today. And special thanks to Mr. Shekhar, Quadrant Solutions, and Shinjin, you especially, for giving me this opportunity. I'm here with all of you today to discuss on an interesting topic, which is definitely related to cybersecurity trends, how are the industry best practices developing, and the importance of data security in this digital age. Before starting off the session, let me, give a quick intro about myself, for knowing me better and where I come from, just for understanding and knowing, the background. So I come with overall 19 years of experience in and around cybersecurity, data privacy, and business resilience. So being associated with global companies like, HCL, Wipro, Verizon, Bank of America, AstraZeneca for quite some time, and GAVS, currently with TCS, heading cyber risk and data privacy for our BFSI global customers. So that's a short intro about myself. Looking forward, for sharing my experience, and knowledge around this area that, like Shinjin just mentioned. So, and before sharing that, I would definitely would like to also set a footnote, the experience or the experience or the views that I'm sharing is completely personal, and it's not related to my company or any customer specific. This is a footnote to start off with. Now, talking about, as, cybersecurity and data privacy, it has been continuously growing and in sophistication and in the complexity around the globe. Cybersecurity is again becoming a key focus area for business leaders and key regulators for ensuring, they are able to get sophisticated, grow with the technology, and enhance their digital standards across the globe. But what is happening always now is there is a never-ending race. As the technology grows, the vulnerabilities are also accompanying, and day by day, their day-to-day operations are getting disturbed. So with this, changes that is happening, and there is an expectations of the organizations to align to, the companies are continuing to invest in technology to continue to grow their business effectively, to reduce the business disruptions as well as to grow their business. So with saying that, the last couple of years, it's been far from ordinary. If you see the COVID incident that has happened, has definitely, given a big impact to the BAU business. The work from home, which has been, very rare before the COVID, has become the normalcy nowadays. So work from home specifically, I'm calling out because that is definitely working in an open environment is like inviting for the vulnerabilities and for predators to influence the opportunities given. right? So what is significantly changing in this normalcy of business culture that has developed is nothing but there are some of the top security risks and trends that is changing in 2022 that I would like to highlight to all of you today. So first and foremost is ransomware attacks. Ransomware attacks, it's not new for us anymore, right? Any day you open the media, you just look at social media, anywhere, there is definitely somewhere or the other, the incidents are occurring, data breaches are, growing day by day, which we can definitely say, pre-COVID and post-COVID. The PII data, which, personally identifiable information, which was sold for $30 to $40 prior to pandemic, is now has increased significantly to $300 to $400 per PII data. And the ransomware attacks have been increasing irrespective if it's going to be a small, medium, or large companies. And another, a breach or another risk area that we see is the data privacy regulations. Regulations are increasing day by day. It's getting mandated. The regulators are mandating the organizations to stick to it, and aligning to it 100% is definitely a key challenge where the companies have to definitely stand on the toe to ensure they are not missing anything. As always, the regulations are dynamic in nature. They keep changing based on the current threat landscape and the business challenges and business growth that we are seeing, right? That's one area that is developing and the risks are accompanying them. Another area that is potentially growing is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, if you see at a very high level, it is definitely going to benefit the cybersecurity platform, in automizing the efforts and changing some manual efforts that the individuals are doing on a day-to-day basis, be it with data access controls or be it with the, security incident management or be it with threat intelligence. It's definitely going to grow, but the kind of security measures or the security controls required for it is very, very large, and it is definitely needs special attention of security resources for the potential growth of artificial intelligence. And some other area that I would like to highlight here is on the mobile. The mobile is the new target for the predators or the we can say cyber criminals nowadays, because mobiles have been like another alternate device, like it's another device which we use for a lot of not only the personal requirements but also for official requirements, right? Mm-hmm. Be it our mail checks or be it a communicator or any specific applications are installed in the mobiles, and we have started using them. And not only from the applications availability standpoint, even the kind of information that we transfer, the information that we get access to is very, very significant. And while having this atmosphere in a private network, I would say, because enabling official applications in your personal device definitely needs special attention of enabling security measures for that, which is currently a weak area where organizations are definitely developing a mobile device management policy framework behind that, and ensuring some security controls are enabled around these mobile applications or mobile protection area to ensure the vulnerabilities are reduced, and if there is any issues that is arising, be it on social engineering or phishing or email impersonation, are getting addressed, and they are working on overcoming those challenges. So these are some of the areas on emerging trends that I would say, which I shouldn't miss, the last one being the IoT. The IoT also is, a platform which is definitely working towards centralizing the efforts and automizing different tools that we are working on a day in and day out. So with this emerging technologies that is evolving, organizations are, facing tremendous pressure to ensure they are securing their corporate data as well as their, business requirements and the regulatory aspects or demands as well, to ensure they are compliant in business. So this is for my views, Shinjini.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shinjini, for having me today. And I'm totally resonating with Kavitha on all the points that she has mentioned. So, we have regular discussions with technology vendors and end users. And what is emerging as the major trend is that the cybersecurity attacks are growing rapidly, not only in terms of frequency, sophistication, but also in terms of complexity. So attackers are finding newer and innovative ways to launch attacks. Like they're using a lot of innovative methods, such as AI ML-driven attacks. There are automated attacks, social engineering attacks, IoT botnets, and bot attacks. And then this landscape is further fueled by multiple factors like growing cloud adoption. There is increased usage of mobile and IoT devices, as Kavitha mentioned. Then the growing usage of RPA bots, which is actually making things even more complex because it is so difficult, right, to differentiate between a good bot versus a bad bot. Then the relatively recent work from home phenomena, the remote working phenomena, which Kavita also pondered on. So all of these, coupled by the growing stringency of data privacy regulations, is making organizations look out for the reliable and best-in-class technology providers who can protect their data, their network, and resources from various types of attacks. Now, in response, what is happening is that the technology vendors and service providers, they are constantly innovating their solutions. So at Quadrant Knowledge Solution, we extensively track the global cybersecurity market in terms of market and technology developments. And what we are witnessing is that there is a lot of development constantly happening in the sector. So vendors are constantly striving to improve their technology offering. So be it through in-house research and development or through mergers and acquisitions. So there is increased adoption of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, advanced analytics, RPA. So vendors are using this extensively, and these technologies are now becoming a driving force so that organizations are able to better monitor and protect their network and resources, which is helping them in advancing the threat hunting capabilities and preventing cybercrimes. Now, another significant trend that we are observing is that of zero trust philosophy. So, that is, we are seeing that organizations across worldwide, they are highly, because the data is so decentralized, right? Be it due to cloud computing, be it due to BYOD policies, remote working environment. So they are going, everyone is going for zero trust security, zero trust architecture, which will ensure that only verified users or devices will get the access. Then we are also witnessing that vendors are investing heavily to improve alert handling capabilities with automated remediation and response. There is security automation orchestration capabilities with built-in security technologies. There are various threat intelligence service providers, right? Unlike in the past, there was more focus on external security, but now organizations are focusing a lot on inside security as well. And there are specialized softwares which are there to manage privacy, like data masking tools. There is privacy management software and built-in reporting tools, which is becoming part of major security solutions to streamline global regulatory compliance.
Amazing, amazing. Moving on to the next question. Both of you, what kind of primary checklist and best practices would you suggest to an organization for combating the cybersecurity threats in today's rapidly changing technology world? Like, and how can organizations reframe these security practices to push cybersecurity decision making out to the business units to improve their security framework? Kavita, I would like to hear your industry perspective from it.
Sure. Good question. So emerging risks and vulnerabilities and the growing technologies that we have seen, the implementation or the need for cybersecurity controls is significantly important. And based on the rate of technology growth across the countries, basic bare minimum security posture is required, for a company or for an organization, and that is being mandated by not only from the regulators but also from the government seniors as well. For example, in US specifically, they are significantly taking steps in requesting and moreover in demanding the organizations to have the cybersecurity program in place to handle the organizational risk from in overcoming the challenges from financial and reputation risk. And especially Biden has definitely mentioned or taken cybersecurity as one of the top critical items in his list. So hence business must focus on improving their cybersecurity posture and determining their level of preparedness for an attack. And for this, definitely we are recommending to do an RCA or to do that's a self-assessment, right? To ensure they are how well they are compliant in nature, and do they have the preliminary necessities to safeguard their networks, and conducting some drills. Have they started conducting some drills to identify any security weaknesses in their environment and eradicating the vulnerabilities? And first and foremost, they have to. It's an globally understood and accepted truth is they'll have to definitely create or launch cybersecurity awareness as one of their key priorities and one of their practices in the organization, because most of the cyber incident that is occurring, especially nearly 60 to 65% of the incident occurs due to the awareness issue. It might be an insider threat or an external influence. Definitely awareness culture has definitely become one of the core reason why an organization has to undergo an incident or a ransomware attack that is growing in the environment. So we have to definitely strengthen that employee awareness program. That is one good practices. And another best practice that we'll have to definitely stick to is having a restricted access across all our employees. It is not like given an open access will definitely lead to a lot of insider threats where not everyone is aware about how to utilize the data and what to do with the data that we are working on a day-to-day basis. And not only from the insider threats, but also externally password weakness is very, very prone for cyber threats, and we have to ensure we are enabling multi-factor authentication to ensure there is a multi-layer security for getting into any application or any system that we are working on a day-to-day basis. Access controls is one of the core element where a lot of cyber incidents occur nowadays. Okay. And another, few of other best practices definitely to be highlighted is establishing a process. Establishing a process to take regular backups and doing patch updates on an ongoing basis, doing a redundancy program by doing simulations or drills in ensuring we are able to safeguard our data, as well as we are able to understand the amount of data loss that would occur when there is going to be an incident which is going to happen unexpected. So we'll have to do a continuous drills to understand what is the how resilient are we in nature. That is very important practice that an organization should build within the DNA to ensure they are redundant in nature, and that would increase their business resilience. And another good practices which the industries are working towards is in having a programmed or well-established process while having dependencies on the third parties. Third parties, definitely what happens is the organizations are equipping their environment with security controls. They are able to do the ongoing drills, internal reviews and compliance audits and all that. But they fail to understand, the predators or the cyber criminals don't target only the, internal network or try to, enter the network using their internal network only, but also through their third parties. So we'll have to always ensure whoever we are going to work with, their security measures are also part of the checklist in ensuring our third parties or suppliers network is equipped with the required security measures to safeguard our network. And other best practices definitely would be on disabling the pop-ups or hardening the system to ensure there is no this copy paste. Definitely this copy paste is one which is also a prone weakness in the system, right? So we'll have to definitely enable hardening of the system to ensure there is no data that has that is prone for data loss or data leakage. and we'll have to definitely on the email communication that happens on a day-to-day basis, we will have to ensure there is data encryption that is enabled across the communication that happens across the tables. It might be using, there are technologies that is developing, be it a cryptography or using cipher technology to ensure the data is encrypted and it is completely protected when the data that is going to be shared is highly confidential and highly critical. We will have to use data encryption methodology to safeguard our data. And another good practices that is highly recommended for an organization is to be compliant in nature. We will have to adapt. I know it is really difficult for ensuring we are aligning with the data privacy and regulatory requirements, but those are very important for organizations nowadays, depending on the kind of vulnerabilities that we are facing on a day-to-day basis. We will have to create a data protection and a cyber policy within our network and ensure we are sticking to that methodology and adopting a security based culture, which will definitely help us to be compliant in nature. Also will give us an opportunity or a way to enhance the security measures that we are working on today. So why we have to I'm highlighting this is there are a lot of places where the customers just buy all the tools possible in the market, because anyway they hear this particular tool definitely helps in endpoint security or for for stopping the internal and external traffic from external or malicious codes. They keep buying the tools in not understanding how to utilize them and how to practice or enable the security measures accordingly. So it is not just buying the tool and keeping it aside and that's going to stop us from being a prey to cyber attacks, but it is a continuous learning. Cyber security is definitely not a formula, but it's an art. There is no right or wrong answer, and there is no a set of security controls which we recommend that if you impose this, you would be overcoming from cyber attacks. No, it's not 100% solution. It's a continuous journey. There are a lot of security controls as the technology grows. As I said, the vulnerabilities accompany. It's evolving day by day. So we'll have to stick to the growing technology and see our objectives are met with the organization's policy and standards, and the execution of our processes are in line with the security controls, in line with the security regulations, standards, and privacy acts that has been released and it's been practiced at a geo to geo level. It is definitely recommended to minimize the risk of future security incidents and safeguard the data we are utilizing across the organization. The data that especially be it BFSI or healthcare industries are storing in a humongous manner. Especially the personal data is growing. During this COVID period, you would have seen in both the verticals that I'm referring to. Definitely, the amount of data that is being stored of the customers is very, very high. So as an organization, we have to thoroughly study the subject, understand the security measures required for the organization, and implement them to avoid any emerging risks which is developing in 2022. Data security is definitely an ongoing process that needs to be understood. We have to adopt to the evolving trends and changes and aligning to the best industry standards, to stay resilient in future. So those are my views, Srinjini.
Amazing. Next, I think Divya, you have a question from your analyst perspective for Kavitha.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Kavita, first, really, I really liked how precisely and in a very systematic way you listed out all the points that any organization should look forward to while ensuring that they have good cybersecurity practices in place. And I would second you on all the points. Just elaborating on one point that I see when we talk to a lot of organizations, we see that uh, for everyone, they are very sure about maintaining the hygiene factors and checking the hygiene factors. For external threats, a lot of organizations, even the good ones, even the reputed ones, do slack a little bit when it comes to insider threats. Now the concept is picking more and more, where organizations are looking for having tools and measures to make sure that their insider threat is also, there is something that will take care of the insider threats, right? And we know that there are so many incidences of insider threats happening, be it because of awareness issues, be it because of any slack in the system, right? And we really see that now it's good that organizations are actually looking out for solutions that can help them ensure all these safeguarding them on all these fronts as well. So one question, Kavitha, what I wanted, to have your perspective on is we see that security and risk executives are facing a very critical juncture where the digital footprint of organization is rapidly expanding, right? And then there is deeply embedded vulnerabilities which has exposed technology gaps. There is human errors and skills shortages, right? So what do you think is your perspective, and what should be the priorities for organizations and executives going forward?
Right. Sure, Divya. So first and foremost, yes, the organizations are expanding, significantly across the globe, and they want to develop their business and want to, have a very good customer satisfaction as well. The customer satisfaction plays a key role in any business that across any verticals. So what is the organization, especially the senior management's expectations are, the board of directors to the management or the security team, is the four elements that they expect from the organization, right? First and foremost, if I have to really engage with you and take your services, first and foremost, there shouldn't be zero attacks or zero ransomware attacks that should be at your environment. Second, you have to be compliant in nature. There shouldn't be any kind of issues related to adhering to the ISO standards or privacy regulations that is getting mandated on a day-by-day basis. And we don't want to be prone to any kind of cyber attacks, be it on the network or be it on the system that we are working on, or any stakeholders that we work on a day-to-day basis. Understanding, the expectations from the board of directors, the organizations definitely should adapt and practice few of the elements which is very important to reduce the kind of threats that they are facing today. First is, as I said, awareness. Awareness is the basic element, and is the foot for any organization to develop that within their DNA, to ensure the associates, or be it at a low level, or be it a fresher, or be it the head of the business, they have to be aware about their data security controls. They have to be aware what data are they working on, and how important is the data that they're working on, and what are the consequences if the data is going to be lost or missed. They have to understand, unless and until we make the employees understand about the importance of the data, the protection of data, or the overcoming the challenges on facing cyber attacks will never go down. Because there is always a mindset that the employees have. If there is anything related to cybersecurity, any risks, any challenges, it's only the security team who owns the data and they are responsible for it. This has to be, cleared. This has to be, this has to be washed away from their minds. Each and every individual in an organization should take up that responsibility and ownership in safeguarding the information or the data that they are working on. right? And the if you see, I would definitely be I'm happy to see the organization or the board of directors are slowly coming towards or growing towards giving importance or overseeing the kind of security controls that we are working on and enabling to protect our business. Before couple of years ago, the security team, the cyber security team was always as an optional. They always say there is zero returns. Why should I invest time on security team for whatever requirements they come in for? But now the trend has changed, right? The senior management, the board of directors are overseeing the importance in security and the need for implementing security controls in the environment, and they are recommending or supporting security team to grow. That's one thing, right? And the second is, we will have to work continuously on monitoring the system and enabling our infrastructure with the right set of security controls, and ensuring if there is any vulnerabilities, that definitely comes only by continuous scanning and managing the network, because the vulnerabilities are not once in a month or once in a year. It keeps evolving day by day. So we will have to identify the risks, ensure whatever risks that we are identified are mitigated on an ongoing basis, eradicate the critical and high vulnerabilities that we've identified to avoid exploitation of data before we identify that, right? That's another recommendation. For doing this, there should be a continuous security monitoring that is recommended, and also VAPT, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing for the critical applications specifically. If you're not able to do for all the applications, at least for the critical applications, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing is recommended, to ensure there is no external threats, that is, entering our, environment. Okay. And last but not the least is reducing the dependencies on suppliers. Right, as I said, suppliers dependency has grown day by day. That we are failing to understand, how strong is the security culture on the third parties environment also while we are engaging with them. So we'll have to ensure we are not only connected or not only looking at security at our atmosphere, but also on the third party side to ensure there are zero, issues or attacks that we may have to expect, which is unforeseen. Okay, and as the trends are growing now, be it AI/ML or IoT or cloud security, there are different technologies that is growing in the environment, and there is always an mindset for teams or employees that as the technology is growing, we are going to be more safe, and only the manual efforts are ending up in security flaws or any risks that we are facing. That is definitely not. Wherever we are growing, as I said, the technology doesn't stop the attacks, but it will definitely help us in automizing the effort. However, the cyber attacks will not stop, will have their level of contingencies or their level of threats at the respective environments, which we will have to understand and adapt to the security controls. That is bare minimum needed for protecting our environment while we are strengthening to develop our existing network. So these are some of the recommendations that I would give for our for the organizations and the companies who are working on a day in day out with the customers nowadays. Shinjini.
Amazing. So we are almost at the end of our whole conversation. In the end, Kavitha, I would like to ask you, like, what is the message that you would like to give to the freshers who are just entering the whole cybersecurity domain, and how would you like to lead them towards a better, experience, and how they should proceed in this whole area?
Right. So there is a mindset again, Shinjin, that we have to, when we are studying from the school days itself, we have to become an engineer or we have to become a doctor and IAS. These are the lines of business or lines that they really feed it with to become. but once they grow up and come out of the college, there are a lot of people. I do a lot of webinars or speak at the schools and colleges in building awareness and enabling that security culture at the young age itself. But they have the mindset, I'm studying EC in engineering. Would I be able to get into the security space? Will I be able to get into this AIML platform? Will I be able to grow in this technology? For all the young professionals who are definitely strong and they have their own intelligence, more, I would say, definitely smart to handle the situation. Definitely, there is no stoppage of getting into the cybersecurity world, right? The opportunities are waiting. But as per the recent surveys and media, there would be definitely be a shortage of cybersecurity resources by 2025. So hearing that, we definitely foresee a lot of opportunities are available in cybersecurity and data privacy area, and there is no limit for individuals at any point of time to sit and just adapt and grow with their passion that they want to grow in. So security space doesn't have a stoppage. If you do engineering or if you do anything, you'll not be able to get into security platform. It is definitely welcomes all the individuals to take their passion and grow in this platform. Planning to fail is always failing to plan. That one line that I would like to leave with, because if we fail to plan on what we want to become, then definitely it will definitely end up in a mess, and we will be confused on what we need in the future. So please, at the young age itself, you have to plan and follow your passion and achieve the goal. Thanks.
Divya, you too have been in this industry for really long. So, any additional pointers you would like to add along with Kavita's statement?
Sure. So, 2 points, right, I would like to, leave today with is first on, the market and technology perspective, right? Like, now with so much of cybersecurity threats, which is growing in volume, and with the stringent data privacy regulations, there is a lot of development that's happening in the market. Organizations are definitely looking out for better solutions to protect them from all these threats, right? That is one thing. And then on the student side, right, the younger generation side, I think Kavitha touched a very good point, which is close to my heart as well. So here, I do see a lot of people have this, dilemma that there is so much technology coming. What would my role be, right? There is so much automation happening. There's so much artificial intelligence happening. What would my role be in future? So what I would like to leave with the thought is that technology will always be an enabler, right? So whatever technology is getting developed, there is definitely going to be more and more opportunities for everyone. And we just have to reskill ourselves. We just have to learn more skills to be productive and be helpful in the coming times.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kavita. Thank you so much, Divya, for joining today for this amazing conversation. I think I've learned a lot. I've not had any experience in this whole area. Thank you for making it so conversational and easy for even me to understand. Thank you, Divya, for giving your perspectives on this whole thing from an analyst perspective. Thank you, Kavita. We would like to have you again on this show sometimes. Thank you.